Hey Justice, I thought this would be easier for me to kind of go through some of the things that I still see. You did really great with the corrections on the top portion, like 1 through 8. I just saw some couple of things with the unit circle, and because that's kind of a big part of this test, I thought I'd just make a little quick video. So, the first thing I want to remind you of is all the little formulas that you need to have written down to use for your test, okay? So with cosine, you're going to be picking off the unit circle the x value. These two are the easiest, sine and cosine, because you literally just go to the x and you write that answer down if it's a cosine problem. For sine, you just go to the unit circle and write down the y. Now with secant, you're going to go to the x value, but you're going to flip it. So if it's 1/2, you're going to flip it and it's going to be 2. And then the same thing it goes for cosecant, except for you're taking the y and you're flipping it. And then with these two, tangent and cotangent, you have to actually do division. Okay, so you have to divide for both of these. All right, so let's talk through these really quickly. So I have my unit circle here, like beside me, that I had just like taped to my wall at the beginning of all of this craziness. So first I see that it says, excuse me, by the way, first I see that it says tangent. So I'm going to write down y over x, okay? Because that's the formula that I need to be using. So I'm going to go to 30 degrees, and I see at 30 degrees, this is the ordered pair, root 3 over 2 and 1/2, okay? So when I look at that ordered pair, this is my x and this is my y. So the formula says take your y, which is 1/2, and divide by your x, which is root 3 over 2. You can't, well, I mean, we can do that, but we've learned a little trick, which is keep, change, flip. So keep the 1/2, change the divide into multiply, and then flip like so. And then multiply straight across. So we're going to do 1 times 2 is 2, and then 2 root 3. And then we've learned that you don't want to keep it like that. So you're going to multiply by root 3, and then 2 root 3 over 2 times 3, because this equals just plain 3. And then that'll be 2 root 3 over 6, and then this simplifies. So that'll be root 3 over 3. Now that's kind of the long way to do it. If you see an easier way, like if we go back to the beginning here, if you can see that the 2's will cross out immediately, you'll be left with 1 root 3, and then you can just times by the root 3, and then that'll be root 3 over 3. But you see, you get the same answer either way. So, excuse me, I got something in my throat. Whichever way that you see that makes more sense, you can do it that way. Okay, so your final answer is root 3 over 3. All right, at 240 degrees, let me write down the ordered pair. Okay. Now, it says secant, okay? So go back up here to your formulas. Secant says take the x and flip it. So here's my x value. I'm literally going to flip it around, which means the bottom's going to go to the top and the top's going to go to the bottom, like that. And then that just equals -2. So that's your final answer, okay? All right, so in your work, you got to this answer right here, which is great. But that's not really the end of the problem, okay? The problem is asking you to find the cosecant. So if you go back up here, cosecant means we're going to flip the y. So at 150 degrees, you did all of that hard stuff, which is really great. Now we just got to finish it up. All right, so cosecant means we're going to take the y, like it says over here, and we're going to flip it. So here's your y, and we're going to flip it. So if you take 1/2 and flip it upside down, it's just 2 over 1, which equals 2. Okay, so that's your final answer there. And then for 20, you did this correct as well. You kept subtracting. You did it 6 times, which is great, and you got to 180. You also changed it to radians. You can do it either way. These mean the same thing. This is just in degrees, and this is in radians. So either way is fine with me. At 180 degrees, the ordered pair is -10, and this is cosine. So cosine is our x value, right? So we just want the x, so our answer is -1. You don't have to flip. You don't have to. You just literally just pluck it off of the ordered pair, and that's your answer. Okay? I just don't want you to miss any of these that are a little bit easier than maybe what you were thinking. All right, then the last one, you got to this as well. Like you got to sine of theta equals negative root 3 over 2, but you didn't finish the problem. Okay, so this is the working backwards problems. All your other answers were correct, where you have like 2 answers. So you're trying to figure out where on the unit circle you have a y value that equals that. Okay, so you just literally look. So just look at the unit circle, find where the y, meaning the second value, is negative root 3 over 2. It's going to occur in quadrants 3 and 4 because of the fact that it's negative. Y is negative down here, you know. So positive, positive, negative, positive, negative, negative, positive, negative. So your y is negative there and there. So look in quadrant 3 and look in quadrant 4, and it should be 240 degrees and 300 degrees. Okay, and that's it. So once you watch this and you feel a little more comfortable, then you feel free to take your test. Please make sure, let's try to get it in within 24 hours, okay? The last one took a little longer than that. So if you'll get it in the next 24 hours, unless you have to work or something, just let me know.